Okay. Let's see. See if this works. Don't know. How's it going? Don't know if anybody's even here. No clue what's going on. Everything is dark and scary. And no clue what the F is actually going on here. However, I do know that there are some humongous issues in the world right now, especially when it comes to power grids, folks. This is what we've been prepping for. I got to be honest with you. Vision Preparedness sent me the link. I actually started work today. Hudson Valley Tile is officially open for business starting today. And I was at work and I got a text message from my good buddy Vision. And we got a little group chat with the Four Horsemen, you know. I'll read it to you verbatim. Verbatim. Word for word. This is the one he sent me, was from the NewYorkTimes.com. This says Spain, Portugal, and parts of France are hit with critical blackouts right now. So let's dive into it, shall we? Speaking of preparedness, I just bought a new Harley Davidson yesterday. Right on, Brett. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Congratulations on the new ride. I hope you ride safely, and I hope you have an absolute freaking blast on it. Teresa, good to see you. Thank you, Teresa. Appreciate it. David Baez, Rebecca Lynn, good to see you. Wisconsin Farm Boy, coffee first, then speak. Sorry I'm late. I was busy today. Some random dude in the house. Karen Cochran, Ohio Valley prepping. Southern Tier prepper. Make sure I caught everybody. Dan H, thank you for the 5x5. Appreciate it, guys. Yeah, I was having some issues hitting the buttons here. Apparently, I needed to copy some things a little bit better than I did because I didn't do so good copying them. Where'd all my stuff go, man? There we go. That's what we need right here. Right here. Jericho Fox, Bama J, what's up? Happy Monday. So let's get started with, as we usually do, the stock market, right? You're talking grid down in Europe, well, parts of Europe anyway. The Dow is currently down 128 points, S&P down 40.25 points, NASDAQ down 188. Oil is down $1.36 a barrel. It is currently at $61.66 a barrel. Gold is up $51.30 an ounce, and the VIX is up 1.94. So let's dive into this article here. This one, first one right here, copy and paste, right? Because that's how we roll around here. Give everybody the links, at least until they clip this stream. I had to get rid of the intro, guys. That's what they nailed me for, was the intro last Monday. Kicked me right in the jimmy. This article from skynews.com says blackouts, the latest, a rare atmospheric phenomenon, triggered huge blackouts in Portugal and Spain. You guys got to let me know. Do you think this is actually a rare phenomenon that triggered this? Or do you think this is something perhaps a little more sinister? We're going to read on here and see what it says. Huge power outages have hit major cities across Spain and Portugal. Flights, traffic lights, trains, phone networks, and card payments have been affected, with reports of panic buying at supermarkets follow the latest here. So this article goes on to state the key points are large parts of Spain and Portugal hit by blackouts. Rare atmospheric phenomenon behind the outage, the operator says. From flights to phone networks and card payments, what's been affected? South Florida, Doug, good to see you. Why the outage happened? A tough balancing act now needs. Let's dive into this a little. This rare atmospheric phenomenon, right? Because aside from a coronal mass ejection, I didn't think that there was much that could tear up a power grid the way this one is. This one just says, we've just heard from REN, Portugal's grid operator. It claims that the outage affected Portugal was caused by a fault in the Spanish electricity grid related to a rare atmospheric phenomenon. REN says that due to extreme temperature variations in Spain, there were anomalous oscillations and very high voltage lines. It says that it is known as induced atmospheric variation, which in turn led to oscillations which caused synchronization failures between the systems. That led to successive disturbances across interconnected European network, it adds. It also says that given the complexity of the issue, it could take up to a week for the network to fully normalize again. Interesting. So what I'm going to do right now, just because I've never heard of induced atmospheric variation, we're going to go ahead and we're going to search that term and see what we come up with here. Maybe we can figure out how this exactly happened, right? Let's see. Of course. Everything is new. What we want is a what is, right? We'll do it live. Okay, so let's read here. Induced atmospheric variation refers to changes in the Earth's atmosphere caused by external factors, often involving the interaction between different parts of the Earth system. These variations can range from short-term weather patterns to long-term climate change and can be influenced by phenomena like El Niño, atmospheric waves, and variations in atmospheric pressure. Interesting. I think we're going to go to NOAA. Space weather. There we go. Because I think we might find the answers that we're looking for over here at the space weather. Let us see. No, everything looks normal. Interesting. So they're saying that although the ionospheric thing is out of service, that's a little interesting. A little interesting. Oops. I wouldn't put it past them, would you? Ohio Valley, yeah, climate change. Climate change is the reason. So currently everything's greenlit. No major fluctuations here. And I'm going to copy this and paste this right in here for you guys. Check that out. That's a NOAA Space Weather Prediction Center. And everything looks good, man. No real fluctuations. Pretty steady Eddie. Right? So we'll also... So it says atmospheric waves, like Kelvin waves, can cause variations in cloud cover, temperature, and other atmospheric conditions. Atmospheric pressure variations, induced atmospheric vibrations. This refers to vibrations in the air caused by external forces such as wind or machinery. It can lead to audible noise, structural vibrations, and even affect power grids. Interesting. It says that induced atmospheric variation encompasses a wide range of phenomena where external factors trigger changes in the Earth's atmosphere, impacting weather, climate, and even technology like power grids. Very interesting. Anomalous oscillations. Very, very interesting. I wonder if you could like turn HAARP on up in Alaska and fry it up, right? Totally could. Totally could. Well, back to the nonsense here. They're done. They're toast. Grid down. Grid down. There is no power in Barcelona, Madrid, Lisbon, Porto, Seville, Bilbao, and Valencia. There is no power in Spain whatsoever. It says we've just passed 8 hours since the first reports of blackout emerged, since which time we've had numerous significant developments. If you're just joining us or want to recap, here's a quick breakdown of what you need to know in 7 quick points. And this was 8 minutes ago. This was posted. Madrid, Barcelona, Valencia, Seville, Bilbao, and Lisbon are among the cities to have been hit by a major power outage. Transportation, internet services, water pumps have all been affected. Power is starting to return in some parts of Spain, but in Portugal, the grid operators say it's more complicated. So if you're in Portugal and by some grace of God, you're getting this broadcast, prepare for a little bit more long term. Man, those people are in deep trouble over there. It added it could take up to a week for the network to fully normalize again after rare atmospheric phenomenon affected Spain's systems. Drivers in Spain have been urged not to use their cars unless necessary, and phones should be used responsibly as telecommunications are at critical moment. Portugal's grid operator E-Redis said the outage was due to a problem with the European electrical system. There is no indication at the moment of the cause of the outage. Interesting. They just said it was atmospheric fluctuation, right? And there's a lot of photos to go along with this article. And if you guys want to see for yourself what the chaos looks like, here you go. Click on that article right there from skynews.com. 44 minutes ago, it says power recovery especially complex in Portugal. Trying to see if I can, sometimes they give little tidbits out in certain things and then pass over them for the next few. Like, oops, we weren't supposed to say that. We won't say it again. KY Survival, man. This could be Robert Ham. Totally. But with an EMP, everything gets fried, right? Systems get overwhelmed and lines actually melt down, right? That's what happens during an EMP. Everything gets overpowered, and anything with a fuse or any kind of... what's the matter for you? You need a hug? We'll do hugs after, okay? All right. The doggy's upset. Rural 2, I see. Good to see you. Let's see. 59 minutes ago, traffic lights went out as we drove to the airport. We were getting messages almost every minute from people impacted by today's mass blackout. Some, like Emma Jackson, were on their way to the airport when the outages hit. In the drive to the airport in Lisbon, the traffic lights went out in the Portuguese capital, causing some collisions, she told us. Once we got to the airport, it was only partially lit and the automatic boarding pass gates were not operating. Emma, who's supposed to fly back to Manchester after celebrating her 59th birthday with friends, added. After about an hour of waiting, an announcement came on asking people to leave the airport due to the power outage. This led to hundreds of people waiting outside in the sun with no transportation to get anywhere. Food for thought. I always talk about having an exit strategy, right? I mean, that's across the board. That's from anywhere. Seriously, you got to have a way out. And then this is what you can do if your flight's impacted. I got to be honest with you, man. You got bigger concerns over there right now. Tactical Muffin Top, good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. All of Spain's nuclear reactors are safe from power outages, says the council. Spain's Nuclear Safety Council has said all 7 of the country's nuclear reactors are safe. 4 of them stopped operating automatically once the power cut hit, after which point emergency generators kicked in. So 4 nuclear power plants running on emergency backup generators. You heard it here first. That is a freaking problem, guys. That is a problem. An hour ago, use phones responsibly as telecoms are at critical moments, says Spain's PM. In the post below, our science and technology editor Tom Clark explains the reason behind the power outages are not yet clear. He reiterated that point. There is no conclusive information on the cause, he said, adding that there is no public security problems for the time being. Payment systems are also working normally, as is digital banking, he said. That was an hour ago. He said that the National Security Council will meet again today to evaluate any further measures that may be needed. Listen, guys, I think this is something that we are super susceptible to here in the United States. One swift virus in a computer, we're toast. We're toast. This is something that we're definitely going to have to keep an eye on for the near future, for sure. 2 hours ago, declare a national emergency. Spanish leaders urged the blackout should be declared a national emergency in Spain. The president of Andalusia's regional authority has said, posting on social media. Morneau said, "We asked the government of Spain to declare a national emergency to strengthen coordination throughout the territory affected by the power outage. Meetings of the city council are ongoing." This is Spain and Portugal, Robert Ham. So 2 countries, and initially it was reported as part of France and, all of Europe initially, but man, they are in a bad way. Okay, 2 hours ago, they said they have power restored in several areas. According to Red, electrical power is back in several parts of the country. An update shared minutes ago, the Spanish and grid operators, substations have, you know what? We're just going to go ahead and refresh this and see where we're at right now. Give me some new news. Everything in chaos. Man, I tell you what, they are not in a good way over there. Not at all. I've got another story here. This one is same topic, BBC's spin on it, and this is in the chat for y'all to check out right now. Amy King, there's nothing on the space weather. Nothing. Flat as a pancake. No incoming CMEs. None of that. I don't know exactly what has happened. I don't know what's going on. And listen, our last article said that all of this is due to where'd it go? I want the correct terminology here. Variations in atmospheric conditions, right? That's what they're saying. Well, I'm not buying it. Sorry. That's the conspiracy theorist in me. Live reporting. Wind-up radios has been our source of information. Christine, who has been living on the outskirts of Madrid for the past 17 years after moving there from the U.S., says an old wind-up radio was their only source for information when the power cut happened. The couple had bought the radio for emergencies when they lived in the U.S. state of Virginia, where lengthy power cuts are more frequent. With the internet and phone coverage and mobile reception all down in their area, they dug out the hand crank device, which enabled them to tune into Spanish radio stations. If it wasn't for the radio, we'd struggle to find out what's going on. I think they may run on battery-operated radios as soon as the shops reopen. Absolutely. You should totally have a battery-operated radio. Look at this thing. This came in a bug-out bag that I got from New York State, right? They host bug-out bag clinics. This was in there. It needed a couple batteries. The batteries in it were old. This does AM, FM, and shortwave. Now, I can't talk through it, but I can listen through it. I can gather information through this radio, and I've got 3 different bands which I can listen through and get some information when things go down. This is simple. Couple AA batteries, super small, a little speaker. There's not a lot to it, but you got to have one in these times. If you got something that plugs into the wall and you don't have a portable generator, you're going to be in trouble, man. You're going to be in trouble. You're going to have no idea what the heck is going on, and you're going to rely on your neighbors and the people around you for information. Rob B says Amazon hand crank radios with solar panel and phone chargers. That's right. You can plug them into the wall, back them up. I've got another one over here on the other side of the room. Similar thing with the hand crank, a little tiny solar panel on top. It's got like a flashlight and everything built into it. That's all gimmicky. What you really need it for is the radio, right? There is a link in the comments section below this video to Midland. Midland makes incredible emergency radios. Please check them out and make sure you have one in your preparedness kit. They're super important. The Baofangs are cool, but unless you know the frequencies where the information's coming from, it's tough to listen in, right? So if you want to hear the mainstream news or radio broadcast of information, you need one of those. Right on, Jericho Fox. You got 3 battery-operated radios. You passed a preparedness test today. JRC Homestead bought emergency radios last Christmas for all our kids. Bam! That's how it's done right there. Galdrell has a couple. They come in emergency bags. Yeah, gotta have them, man. Cold War Prepper, really good to see you, brother. Hope all is well. So electricity is being restored in parts of Spain. We covered that. There's no clear timeline for full restoration for people in Portugal, and they are not happy. The metro system's still shut here. Bus stops are overwhelmed. Phone networks are patchy, with some residents unable to connect at all. Supermarkets are seeing extremely long queues with card payments down, and many shoppers panic buying essentials, echoing scenes from the C-19 pandemic. Businesses across the city, as well as judicial institutions like the courts, have closed their doors. Portugal's main broadcaster has also struggled to stay on the air, facing technical issues as backup generators fail to provide consistent power. Reaction from the news that it could take Spain 6 to 8 hours to return to normal, and Portugal a week, has left some feeling unimpressed and frustrated. Others are not pleased that some Spanish cities have reportedly got electricity back, while Portugal is still grappling with the outage. The power cut has thrown Lisbon into total disruption, with no clear timeline yet for full restoration. Nightmare. Absolutely nightmare. Charismatic friend says, I have one on eBay right now, hand crank radio. Taking it down. That's right. Keep that thing, man. Those are super important for information when things fail. Let's see. Man, they are in trouble with a capital T. Especially if they don't really know the cause, right? Pack says, I have two, but I missed out on an old crank radio. Yeah, they even make some of the modern ones where you can crank the power into the battery, then close the handle and listen to it for a time while the battery drains, right? The solar panels that they have on the top of them, got to be honest, they're kind of gimmicky. You're really not going to pull any power into that thing. Rob B, I know, the Winador. She's very upset with me. I went to work this morning, so she's mad. She didn't get her snuggle time with Dad this morning. Man, the scenes out of here are apocalyptic. It's wild. I'll paste this article in the chat for everybody. This is BBC. Let's see here. Oh, just lost all my links again. Next article is same shit, different news. But okay, this one goes into a little bit more detail. This might settle my my conspiracy button a little bit. Spain and Portugal were hit by major power outage on Monday, bringing to a halt daily activities throughout the two countries, with businesses shutting down along with transit, subways, airline flights.
Will you please, just give me a couple minutes? No. Relax. Calm yourself. Golly.
And traffic, right? If you were driving and relying on traffic devices, traffic lights, crosswalks, things like that, that's scary stuff, man. That's scary. If you're driving and you experience one of these blackouts or power outages, the best thing to do when you approach an intersection is proceed with extreme caution. Every light's a red light at that point, right? None of them are working. Some people don't even know that they're there when they're not working, so they're just going to blow through them. So it's super important to pay attention if you come up to a traffic light during one of these grids down. And then you got your panicking people, forget it. Nightmare. Officials did not say what caused the outage, which affected tens of millions of people across the Iberian Peninsula, but several denied any foul play. At this point, there are no indications of any cyber attack, Antonio Costa, the president of the European Council, wrote on a post on X. Portuguese energy authorities said the outage occurred following a disruption in the European grid, but did not provide details after a report that an unspecified atmospheric phenomenon had caused the outage. REN, a Portuguese electricity and gas supplier, vigorously denied that was the reason. Interesting. That news is fake news, Bruno Silvia, spokesperson from Ren, said in a phone interview. It's giving us a really, really big headache. By late Monday afternoon, power was flickering back on in many areas. Spain's national power company, Red Electrica, said that the power had been returned to many parts of the country, including Catalonia, Aragonia, the Basque Country, Galicia, and a whole bunch of other places that I can't pronounce because I am not Spanish. The outage also briefly affected France. RTE, the French electrical grid operator, said in a statement that some households in the country's Basque region had briefly lost electricity, but all power had since been restored. Now, when I heard about this, I looked into other countries as well, and I found out that...
What do you require?
I found out that Germany has one of the most protected power grids in the world. Average outages in Germany, if they happen at all, are between 8 to 12 minutes. So Germany doesn't mess around when it comes to power. Let's see. We know long lines. We know no traffic lights. We know traffic accidents. We know everybody's trying to use their cell phones and probably crashing the cellular networks, right? And I will copy. Hang on. Gotta click here. Oh, come on. This thing's being a bugger today. KY Survival. Yeah, they do build things pretty well over there. Excuse me. Jericho Fox, you ain't kidding. New York Times was this article here. Lots of pictures, lots of videos to go along with this. Those I obviously can't share here. I can't even share my intro videos. They'll cut the feed. The good news is here today in the Hudson Valley, it is currently 73 degrees and the sun is a-shining. It's warm out there in the sun. Joy Calhoun, yeah. Do something different. Rapid radios do seem cool. In the situation that they're in Spain, they won't work. When the cellular networks fail, those radios are as good as some cheapo walkie-talkies. Roddy Hood, good to see you.
Will you come here? Come here. Come here. Come on. Come on. You want to say hi to everybody? Come on. Come on. Come on. Come say hi.
Say hello. Hello. There we go. There we go. Okay, it's good to see you. It's good. Can you calm down now? Please. Please. You're being crazy.
Yeah, you gotta relax.
Well, I told you we'll go play right after this, okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, we gotta get down. Can you just chill out for a couple minutes? I'm almost done. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Your cooperation is appreciated.
Good golly.
I know. We're almost done.
Yeah, beautiful weather. Oh, you do too, Gedrell. That's awesome. She's a sweet one. She's a sweet one. But digging, man, I couldn't find anything crazy on this, but something obviously caused this. When they say atmospheric fluctuation and waves, I'm not buying it, man. I'm not buying it. Induced atmospheric variation. So they did say in the one article from the New York Times that is fake news. Good golly, puppy dog. She's not having it. She's not having it whatsoever. Something to definitely keep our eyes and ears on, right? This, it's just across the Atlantic from us. I mean, like straight away. Dan H can almost see it from his house. Old Mutt, good to see you, brother. But yeah, power grid failure, Spain, Portugal, no bueno. Here I'm going to give you guys the space weather too, because man, there is nothing on there to indicate that this was due to the sun, right? Ohio Valley prepping, absolutely not. No, she is not traveling that far. No way, no how. I don't think I'd be able to drive. She'd be on me like a cheap suit. And the markets are still down. Not much change there. Dow is down 90 points. S&P down 32. NASDAQ down 156. Gold shot up a little bit more. It's up $48.60 an ounce. Charismatic friend I don't know if we're too far off, man. Got to be honest with you. It's looking more likely every day, unfortunately. All signs point to preparedness, folks. All signs point to preparedness. CUCV farmer totally could be. Totally could be. I don't know, man. Maybe they, like I said earlier, maybe they plucked the harp up in Alaska and made it ring for Spain. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe somebody's accessing one of those back doors in the power grid, but all signs point to, there it is. Prepare now, right? Prepare now. That's it. Get your freeze-dried preps on, please, folks. Mad Chad, good to see you, brother. Power grids are failing, all right? Spain and Portugal. Portugal could be with a week without power before they get things restored. Spain, a little more on top of it and making things happen there. But this is bad all the way across the board. And I am interested to see, perhaps later on tonight, maybe we get some more answers out of this, right? Find your local farmers, know where they are because, well, they grow food, right? Find your local farmers. Find your local ranchers, right? Find your local egg producers. Find your local sources for everything that you possibly can right now. Right now. Don't wait. When that grocery store gets crazy and you can just sneak over to the farmer's farm stand and grab what you need and everybody's going crazy in there. Let it burn and rebuild, says Spain, Portugal, Chile, Cuba, and Puerto Rico. Yep. Those are the ones having big troubles today. Not good, man. Not good. Please prepare. Get yourself a radio. We learned that lesson, right? Ham radio is going to be your best source of communication. GMRS, if you can do it. But most of those repeaters, when the grid goes down, so do they. Unless they have backup generators there, power in that thing all the time, and people to go fuel them up, it's not going to last very long. So ham radio, get a good license, like a good one. Don't just get your foot in the door. I got my foot in the door. Now I need to step up to the general so that I can use HF for direct communications with people. And I don't have to worry about towers, just the one I put in my yard and the one that my friend has that I'm trying to talk to. So ham radio is your best bet. There's links in the description section for Midland radios. That'll get you your GMRS and your hand crank emergency radios. Those are going to be super helpful. But limited range, right? If you want to talk regionally, get a high-powered GMRS radio. It's $35. You don't need a test. You just go to the FCC, pay $35, and your whole entire family has a license for the next 10 years. It's easy to do. It's $35. You invest in some decent radios. I mean, you do not have to buy the ones from Midland. You can go onto Amazon and buy max wattage GMRS radios. I think it's 300 watts they're limited to. That's a hell of a lot more than your 5-watt Baofeng, right? So you can totally communicate without the grid, without the communications grid, without all of that stuff. Make a plan now, not just a comms plan, a no comms plan. When the grid fails, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Imagine they tell you right now, boom, the lights just went out. How long is it going to be? I don't know. Could be weeks. What's your next move? I know I'm throwing a whole shitload of meat in the smoker. Tell you what. CUCV Farmer says GMRS is legally limited to 50 watts. Thank you, CUCV Farmer. There you go. That's max wattage. So check him out, man. Got to get him. Got to get him. Do it now. Do it now. Don't wait. Don't wait. Dan H. Carrier pigeons for sure. My buddy Mike Tyson over in Catskill. He's got a coop up on the roof for me. Yeah. Me and Mike like the pigeons. But all signs point to preparedness, folks. Please make sure you are prepared for you and your family's sake. This could happen here. Could happen here at any time. So make sure you're prepared. Charge up those backup generators. Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival. And if I don't get out of here, this dog's going to drag me out of my chair. Y'all have a great day. Stay safe. Prepare for something like this. Make sure you have cash on hand, because when the grid fails, your CODs, well, they ain't working. Thank you guys for joining me. Really appreciate you being here. Hudson Valley, Prepping and Survival, and we will catch you on the next one.